Hi Libra, I'm going to be doing a self-love tarot reading. These are general readings. If it doesn't resonate with you this week, come back next week. Maybe I can help you then. These are self-love readings. They're designed for Spirit to showcase areas where you might be letting yourself down. And areas where you can, be more authentic with yourself. Part of self-love is self-acceptance, and it's hard to accept parts of ourselves that we've yet to acknowledge. I do a 6-card spread, Libra, and then my 7th card is Spirit Message. I shuffled for a minute before, so let's just give it one more go. Alrighty then. Let's get started, Libra. In this first space, it's going to be how you feel and where you are. In the second space, it's going to be something Spirit wants you to prioritize. And in this third space, it's going to be something that you might have thought to yourself, I can't deal with this right now. Or I don't need to deal with this right now. So I'm just going to put it off. And Spirit's like, that's the kind of thing that we need to be focusing on. We need to put more effort and energy into for ourselves. In the fourth position, we have something. Sorry, my cats are playing. In the fourth position, it's something you can do to be more authentic with yourself. We all are multifaceted. We all have so many things about us. Like, you might just think to yourself, oh, I'm John, I'm a CPA. Absolutely no idea what that means, but like, that's what you think. But you're not just John the CPA, you're John the father, you're John the son, you're John the brother, you're John the cousin, the best friend, you're John the guy who likes soccer, you're John the guy, who people depend on, you're John the funny guy. You could be all kinds of things. We all have different aspects to ourselves, and so universe is saying, like, if you explore more of this aspect of yourself or bring more of this forward, you're gonna feel more like yourself. And that's kind of the point, right? In this fifth position, it's going to be something that Spirit wants you to let go of. In this sixth position, it's going to be something Spirit wants you to acknowledge. It's probably something in your environment, but maybe you didn't notice it or you didn't realize it was for you, and Spirit's like, hey, yep, that's you. That's all you, boo. Hey, baby. In this seventh position, like I said, or maybe I didn't, because sometimes I talk for a minute, this is going to be a message from Spirit. So we can just go ahead and get started. In this first position, Libra, we have Valor. Excellent. Excellent. Libra. Now, you might feel like you are, under attack. We see here with this Valor card, this warrioress. What do you just call him a warrior, right? If it was a girl, right? We see this, yeah, because Xena is just a warrior princess, right? So she's a warrior. Okay, so we see this warrior. And she's standing her ground here. But we see all of these, stakes literally up against her. But she is standing her ground. And up at the top here we see Valor. And I always think of, like, bravery, It takes a great deal of strength to stand up to your enemies. But a great deal more to stand up to your friends. If you know what that's from, Libra, comment in the box below. Okay. Nice. So what the universe wants you to prioritize, you might feel now, Libra, because we just saw the Valor card, that you have to defend yourself. But the universe is saying they want you to focus more on, prioritize, for yourself, it's this 9 of Cups. And at the top it says happiness. So Libra, one of the hats that you wear, one of the facets that you might have to deal with is, being a parent. And sometimes, a lot of the time, it happens that moms get a lot more flack about going out and spending time by themselves or for themselves, And it might even be that moms find that finding that time is a lot harder too. So Libra, if you're feeling right now that you're on edge or that you have to defend yourself in some kind of way, universe is emphasizing that you might want to go out and, like, do things that make you happy. You can definitely 100% of the time do things that make you happy with your family. But I'm feeling this is more of, like, a solitary energy. You see here? She's just a frolicking. Yeah. She's frolicking by herself, though. She ain't got no little kids with her. She ain't got no husband with her. She's just out there. You could be anybody. This is just emphasizing to you that those things that make you happy, you should follow those things. In the Nine of Cups, we see, 9 cups. I always think that in life, it's so interesting because everyone likes different things, right? Like me, my sister, and my brother, we grew up in the same house. We experienced more or less the same things. We all have a different perspective though, and we all enjoy different things. My sister is like really into working out. She likes to eat healthy. I'm really into yoga and like this, and then my brother's into anyway, so we're all into different things, and I think that's so interesting, and I think that's the universe's way of like indicating to us the directions that we should go in our lives. If something feels good to you, like if it sparks joy for you, you should follow those things. And just like Marie Kondo says, like if it doesn't spark joy, you should get rid of it. And in the same way, we should do those things with our lives. So follow your happiness, Libra, what do they say? Follow your bliss. It doesn't have to be blissful. Like if it's collecting mason jars, you go get those mason jars. You do what you like. Ooh. But the universe is saying, continue with this happiness. Follow this happiness through, Libra, because they're emphasizing this love in your life, okay? It's interesting. This love. I really like this. So I see you standing in your power. You're standing up for yourself. You're standing your ground. And the universe is saying this is great. But maybe, maybe you're being a little too defensive. So prioritize happiness, showcasing this. If you're interested in a new person, Libra, bang on. Like if that's available to you, good for you. I like that. See anybody new, so that's interesting. Anyway, Libra, great. So like if you are interested in somebody new, or if you're like exploring these opportunities of love, because the universe is saying that they're in your environment, so if this is something that's coming to you, but like in the past we've had bad experiences, or we just want to show our partner, I'm capable of taking care of myself. That's great, Libra, you should do that. However, remember, you are the scales, you have to show balance. So if you like somebody, you can be independent and you can still be interested, right? And that's just about returning energy. You don't have to come on too strong. You don't have to think to yourself, will they like me? Honey, you are a Libra. Of course they're gonna like you. Who doesn't like a Libra? Geminis, or I don't know, Aries probably. I'm real sorry. I'm just saying, like, who doesn't like a Libra? What's not to like? Just don't get so involved in your head. Universe is saying prioritize this happiness. You don't have to come off, just one way. Come off like you can also have a really good time, because you can. So give yourself that happiness, allow yourself to feel those moments of joy, and then, be willing to express them. And then universe is saying that there is love in your environment. And you might have thought like, oh, I'm not ready, or oh, now's not a good time, or, catch flights, not feelings. You shouldn't be catching flights right now. I know that they say that like airplane air is cleaner, but really, come on. Okay, anyway, so, yeah, so maybe that used to be what you were thinking, but now universe is saying, like, you do have the green light. There's a go ahead in your environment. Something the universe is indicating that you can do to be more authentic with yourself, Libra. Bang on, babe. Bang on. Oh, wow, okay. Yeah, that's great. Okay. So right now I think that what's happening, and it might come up as we clarify, is that you could be very in your masculine energy right now. And that does not have anything to do with, gender or your sex or whatever. Like you can be a woman as your sex, like female. And you can be female, you can be female as your sex. And then your, gender or the area or the end of the spectrum that you lean closer towards is masculine. Now, lots of girls grow up, and unfortunately, like, it's become, like, a thing, like, haha, you have daddy issues, but, like, if you think about, like, a nuclear home, the dad is the kind of the one that teaches you to take care of things, cars, how to fix stuff, they provide a lot of, like, comfort and solace. Dads tend to be like more of a stable figure, while mothers tend to be kind of more erratic. I'm not saying anything. I'm just saying this is like what we see, right? And so, you could be right now more in your masculine energy, where you really have just had to learn to do all of these things by yourself. Masculine energy is really about what is being done. That's why I was saying, like, dads teach you to fix stuff, do stuff outside of yourself, and moms teach you more of like what's going on inside and how to verbalize it, or like in a nice family, or like when it didn't come from. So I'm really just making this up from the top of my head, okay? The idea is that if you were to think about a perfect house, you would think like a dad is like, I'll fix the car, and the mom's like, I clean and cook and take care of people and I love you, right? Okay, so anyway, you might not have had that, and everyone makes it out to be like daddy issues, but really what it was like you had to learn to overcompensate. So you have had to lean more towards your masculine energy more of your life. For guys, it's kind of the same way. If you spend a lot of time around women, you learn more to be in touch with your feminine side, and that's just because you're not in an environment where it would be triggering for someone else to see you act in that way. I hope that makes sense, because I feel like scared to get like super involved into that. But yeah, you learn to just be more in touch with yourself, and so you tend to lean towards more your feminine side. We can all find balance wherever we want it. Like, that's totally up to you. It's a spectrum. But let's say, again, Libra, if you did have to, if you grew up even if you were a guy, and you grew up in a house where like you just didn't have a father figure, you might have leaned more towards that. Or you could just be a really, really driven person. Entrepreneurs of almost every kind tend to lean more towards that masculine energy, because that's really about going after what you want. The universe is saying right now, you need to find that balance, Libra. Look, there's your scales, okay, babe? The purity of your actions or your intentions versus what's in your heart, okay? Those things need to be balanced. So if there is love in your environment and your heart is saying, well, Libra, that feels like really nice, but your actions are not portraying how you're feeling, those scales are going to be imbalanced. Ming bai? Ming bai lama. That's Mandarin for like, do you understand it? Sorry. And then, so we have to get those things in balance. If our heart is saying something, move closer to what your heart wants. It's interesting because, like I said, with the happiness card, the universe leaves little things for us along the way that we like, and that's the things we drift towards. Those things make us happy. We should show that. We should acknowledge those things, because those will really bring us into balance with ourselves. And this position is something the universe wants you to let go of, Libra. It's this ideas, okay? The Ace of Swords is the availability of new ideas. Usually, because we see how the sword goes up through the crown, it's this idea that the universe is providing. Be careful, mister. Hey. Yeah, no, be careful. Yeah, don't go wandering. He doesn't get out very much. He's very skittish, and I just don't want him to get lost. Sorry. With the sword going up through the crown, it's usually an indication that the universe is going to provide some kind of answer for you. It's a sacral download, right? Or upload. I think that the universe is saying to you that you're feeling like, you're waiting for some kind of new ideas to come. This could be you just like honestly waiting for the other shoe to drop. I do that a lot of the time. That's like probably one of my most negative or like self-sabotaging behaviors. And it's just because of experience, right, Libra? I'm a Libra moon, actually. So I don't know if that has anything to do with it. Jinkies. But I do that a lot. So like we have to get out of that energy of like allowing ourselves to really, be kind of braced all the time. Like, oh, that thing was great, but something bad is gonna happen now. So we kind of have to let go of that energy, and I think the universe is telling us that. I think the universe is saying like, you're waiting for the other shoe to drop. You're waiting for more information. Like, you like this person or you're interested in this person, but you're not showing off that interest because you're in this place of defending yourself. Maybe in the past you had bad experiences, and so now you're waiting for that new information to come out so that you can, be right in your defense. But universe is saying you need to balance out those energies, because that you have to let go of that. Even, and I hate to say it too, and this is true, Libra, but even if that other shoe doesn't drop, or I'm sorry, even if the other shoe does drop, you can't sit there and just be worried about it all the time. Yeah. If it does drop, you know, we have coping mechanisms, don't we? We have to change those coping mechanisms, and to be careful about the ones we use, though. Right? But like, if the other shoe does drop, then that's also not like the worst thing in the world, Libra. One of the things that could happen is, like, you know, you just find out that that situation wasn't for you. But I think it is, honestly, because it's in the cards, right? So, universe says they want you to acknowledge what's in your environment. Yeah. Is this worry? See, babe? Yeah. You're worried about it. Universe is saying you need to let it go. Don't worry about it. One of the hardest things, one of the hardest lessons I think that we have to learn in this universe, like on this plane, is to trust. We should. Self-love is like really important. It really is, and it helps us establish better boundaries for ourselves to operate within, so that we can learn self-trust. Okay, each time we let ourselves down, we learn not to trust ourselves more and more, and it makes it harder for us to make decisions and to trust that those decisions are the right decisions, and then we end up in this like freeze energy and we don't move forward. The universe is saying, like, you have to acknowledge that bad things, while they might happen, they might also not happen. This is that like sense of duality, right? We can shut the world out and be worried, but then we are shutting the world out. We are shutting out experiences. And the universe is saying that you are in this brave energy. So I think that we just need to reframe this brave energy. If you're brave, but you're using all of that bravery to put up a defense, you're gonna push love and happiness away. But if you change or reframe that bravery to say, I can face whatever comes, you give yourself freedom. You know? When you rechange your patterns to provide more stability for yourself, you make yourself promises and you follow through on those promises and you believe in yourself, you develop more of that self-trust. And then it's easier the next time. Life is always going to have disappointments. It's always going to be hard. But like, again, we have to choose our hards, right, Libra? So let's see. Universe's message to you in the 7th position is the Prince of Swords. Now, dang. Oh, dang. Okay. So the universe wants you to head out, Libra. Now, the Prince is much like the Knight. And the Knight of Swords is someone that is like more reliable, I would say. He's fast moving and he thought things through. He figured out somewhere along the line what it was that he wanted to go after. There's a hummingbird right there, Libra. I think that's a good sign, right? It's not scared of me. He is about movement, okay, towards new ideas. You see that he is being pulled, his chariot here is being pulled directly by the eagle, right? And here in the United States, we think of the eagle as a symbol of freedom, but he's also a symbol of truth. I believe, Libra, the universe wants you to start moving, to get in this chariot and move towards freedom and truth. And the way that we move away from deception and stagnation, right? Freedom, truth, deception, stagnation, or captivity, I guess, freedom versus captivity, is by acknowledging that it's us that has to do the work. And we just have to change the way that we're putting this energy out. I think that's really fair. I think that's really fair. We're not saying that what you're doing, you know, is wrong by any nature. If you've had experiences in the past, then yeah, of course, you always want to practice discernment. And discernment is doing what's right for you. And Libra, if you've had bad experiences in the past that you don't want to repeat, then it makes sense that you would be on guard. universe is saying, let's just, you know, reshape that energy now from being on guard to being brave and accepting what's coming towards you as it comes. I don't know if I could do that. I'm sorry. That really does. Okay, so like the thing is, like, it's self-trust, right? Like, you have to trust yourself to handle what comes. In fairness, there have been situations where I've done that, yeah. But I think love is like a different situation, right? Because love is validating. I'm sorry. Let me rephrase that. Love can be validating, and it can be invalidating. If you're in love with someone and they don't like aspects of you, that could be invalidating. I say in love because, you know, we just have to be careful with what we think sometimes. It can be invalidating. But if they like things about you that you already like about yourself, that can make us feel really, really good. But we just have to be careful because we don't want to get validation from other people. So the universe is saying right now, you're in this state of valor. They like the energy that you're putting out. We want to redirect it. And that's fair because honestly, you need to go around. You need to go around, please. Don't go that way. Thank you. Yeah, thank you. Because honestly, like, that's a good energy to put out. Being brave is a good energy to have. Let's just redirect it. Oh, and then like that's what self-love is about. There we go. Okay, so I was trying to bring this back, and I think I almost failed like 3 times. Okay, so right now, universe is asking you to just redirect your energy. And that's basically what learning self-love is. It's just learning, redirecting that energy that we put into the patterns that we have established over time. And over time, we've learned that to survive, we either need to give and give and give and not expect in return, or shut other people out. I'm super good at both of those things, actually. Yeah, it just depends, whatever. But Libra, what the universe is saying right now is you need to reshape those habits so that you can also give. And that's okay. That's okay. You know, we just, we use what is available to us at the time. We can't judge ourselves so harshly on what we've done in the past because we can only do what we know how to do. And you might know better now, Libra. And so the universe is saying, use what you know now and let's move forward. Oh, see, it's a new day. It's a new dawn, it's a new day, and I'm feeling good. Okay, that's you. You're gonna find joy in this, Libra. It's gonna be like a shock, I think. I really do. Because, like, honestly, okay, so, like, okay, okay. So, like, okay, look. Like, yeah. So, like, honestly, if you have gone through shit or you've gone through hell, you know, you pick up qualities and traits that allow you to move through hell more efficiently. Maybe you learn to be deceptive about your feelings. Maybe that's just how you had to survive, okay? There's no shame because you were in hell. You know, the things that we would do in hell are not the same things that we would do at the supermarket. We have to behave in different ways to get through, to survive. That's what, like, trauma is all about. Like, after trauma, PTSD, that's what we have learned to survive in such a negative environment that, like, when we cycle into something that's better, we seem like feral animals. Hashtag sorry, I guess. Like, I just did what I had to do to survive, and now you're telling me that what I was doing doesn't work here? We have to relearn things? That seems, like, overly traumatic, you know? Like, that seems stressful. So there's no shame at all. We just have to learn. So what helped us here, you know, now we're taking that next step, Libra, because I really do think that, like, you passed some kind of test. Like, you came through something, and now you're on this new plateau. You're up here now, not down here anymore, and you're thinking to yourself, I don't know about this. Is this real? Is this really what's happening? The universe is like, yeah, no, you're up here. And you're like, you messing with me. I'm still down here. And the universe is like, nah. The things that were happening past, like, that's not happening anymore. And those traits that you used, they're not really valid in this new place, and you're gonna have to pick up new ones. So what we want you to do here in this new place is focus on your happiness. And you're like, no. Because when I was happy before, bad shit happened. And the universe is like, no, focus on the happiness anyway. The universe is focusing on this happiness is gonna like really help bring in that self-love. Okay, because we were just talking about this, letting go of that sense of worry, establishing more of our connection with what makes us happy, right? We said follow those little happinesses. Maybe Libra, you're super into the harmonica, like really, and that's just like I'm really sorry, I was about to say this, like a stupid little thing, but you know what I mean. Like it's just a harmonica, really? Like people are gonna be like, that's what you want to do? But like the people who love you, Libra, they're gonna be like, you get a harmonica and I'll get a tambourine, right? And in that way, we follow those things that make us happy, and it leads us to love and happiness. Boom, boom, ka-chow. Yeah, okay, let's see. So over this happiness, right, we said it's gonna lead you to self-love. And we see this reunion of souls. Right? Now, Libra, I don't do readings for relationships, so I don't ever see that card as like a soulmate card. That doesn't say that to me. That says to me that over time, you learn to like shut parts of yourself off. I see that from the Valor card. I'm not making any personal judgments. You learn to shut parts of yourself off, and in doing so, you had to like build a wall. I don't know if you've seen Attack on Titan, but basically you made Titans. You used your Titan form to make walls around you. You had to put so much into those walls that there was nothing left for you to give to other people, right? And so the universe is saying what's happening now is those walls are coming down, and your soul, that energy, that time is going to come back to you. Okay? Maybe not like you get the time back, but that time is going to be now used in a much more effective way for you. You're reuniting with parts of yourself. And I love that. I really do think that that's what that happiness is about. All those little cups, right? You gave away. You had to put somewhere else. And now those are going to come back, and they're going to come to you, and they'll be full. Sweet. I love that. Okay, so universe says that you have been thinking to yourself about a relationship, because this love card here, there's two people here. So I don't think this is just like you to yourself. I think that you had learned, to put up your wall, and that you would deal with love later if it came. Like I'm not worried about it right now. And universe doesn't want you to worry, because it says don't worry. You acknowledged you're already worried. Don't worry. Too late. Okay, so I think this is like giving love away, right? And the universe says this might be difficult. So like if you have to take a second, if you have to take a beat, Libra, that's totally fair. People might expect that like you being in love, being romantic and lovey-dovey is easy for you, Libra, because you are the sign of romance, right? You love being in love. But like we're all just people. Just because we have just because there's a zodiac sign that says we love being in love doesn't mean that we didn't go through trauma, and now loving love is hard for us. That's why these are self-love readings, because it's not about what other people would think. It's really about how we feel. Our feelings might not indicate what's true around us in our environment, but they are valid by Joe. They are valid, If you walk into a room with people in it and there's like tension in the air, it's valid to think, were they just talking about me? But it doesn't necessarily make it true. When we feel those things, we have to gauge our feelings with what's actually going on. I'm a Pisces, and it's super duper hard for me. My niece will tell you that when I'm sad, I have a hard time not being like, I just want people to love me. And like, she'll come home from a long day of work and she'll be like, I want to bed. And I'm just like, She's like, don't make that face at me. And I'm like, so sad. Right? So, we're just people. We're just people. It's really hard sometimes for us to deal with things as people. And the universe is saying, like, if it is hard for you, take a beat. Give yourself a pause. Take a second and step back. Hopefully, if you followed your happiness, this person that you love will understand that, right? You won't have to explain to them, oh my God, I'm so scared, I'm so anxious, I'm so nervous, I'm so not used to this. You just tell them, I really like you, and if you're cool with it, I'd like us to take things, you know, kind of slow. I have anxiety. And they'll be like, bet. I have anxiety too. And then you'll be like, let's go get a nice coffee so we can just be jittery together, right? Yeah. Okay. So work on love. Work on giving love outside of yourself. It's going to be hard, especially if this is something that you're new to learning, right? Think about self-love as like school. Honestly, when you go to school, you learn new things. Like learning math was hard. When you first had to learn addition and subtraction, you were just like, man. When you had to learn calculus, you were like, oh, man. When you had to learn like algebra and stuff, it's hard because you're learning something new. You ever try to learn a new language? Wow, buddy, you get headaches. So like, don't expect yourself to be perfect at this overnight. This is going to be something that you work on for a while, but that's great because if you're working on yourself, you're always moving forward. Good job, Libra. Universe is saying that you have this love in your environment that you do want to pursue, but you also have this strength that you're using to keep yourself, you know, away from people. And the universe is saying you need to bring that into balance. Use that inner strength, use that inner bravery to say, I can handle what is coming towards me no matter what. I have enough love for myself that if I get involved within a relationship with somebody else, that their love for me does not validate me, right? It feels good to be validated. That's great. I love that my partner loves things about me that I love about myself. But I don't need my partner to love those things about me, right? So if you get into a relationship with somebody, you say to yourself, Libra, I'm in this relationship to be loved for who I am. If the person does not love me for who I am, then this is not the relationship for me. And that's okay. I can handle that. I can handle that. And then, you know, you don't have to worry so much about getting into the relationship. And I'm only saying this now because the universe is saying this is good for you. Remember, Libra, anything that's physical, emotional, mental, financial, any kind of abuse, that's not what from the universe. So if you feel in any way uneasy about a person or you feel like you're not safe with that person, this message is not indicating that this isn't about that. This one's not for you. I don't do messages like that. So like if you do have that problem, go ahead and email me or Instagram me. We can do a private one of these and I can help you with systems of belief because that's a whole nother shebang. No abuse. Yeah, so getting more in touch with your energy, I love that your card came through. It's going to be really healing for you, Libra. I love that. Can you see the hand in there? That's your handprint. That's your own handprint over your heart. That's your handprint over your energy. That's you being present with yourself. I love that. Honoring your own energy, Libra, you can't make this stuff up. When you honor yourself, you give yourself room to grow. And look at that plant. That plant is blossoming. Just like you. You're not a plant. But you're like a big cloud. You know? You're a big cloud. You're just growing. Just getting bigger like a cloud. Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. Okay. So universe wants you to really let go of this idea that these new ideas are going to just come to you. That you're just going to, you know, wake up one morning and there's going to be new information presented to you about this person or about this situation. You're just waiting for that other shoe to drop. And the universe is saying you need to acknowledge the truth, okay? Because the truth will give you freedom. It will set you free. We see that with the eagle. And the truth in this situation is that even if the other shoe does drop, Libra, you are prepared. You can handle it. You know, you put on your big girl, big boy panties. Embrace what's in front of you, what's new for you, and say, even if it doesn't work out, I can handle it. Change that energy around. This is a transformation. Look, you're a little caterpillar, and now you're going to be a big butterfly. Yeah, that's what is happening. A universe says they want you to acknowledge that there is just this sense of worry. That a lot of what's going on in your head is just, or a lot of what's going on is just worry. It is just in your head, okay? You aren't actually out in the cold. You aren't actually going to, you know, Even if you were to break up with this person, you wouldn't be destitute. You wouldn't be living out on the street. You wouldn't be homeless, right? You wouldn't have to start all over again from the bottom learning self-love. Like, you would have figured those things out for yourself, and so you wouldn't have to start from the beginning. Because like these people, they're like homeless, they're like outside, they're like, look, she's probably like super hungry, she's all curled up in the fetal position. This dude, he's just like, you know, he looks worried for her. Yeah. So the universe just is saying is like, no. Go lay down. Go lay down. Universe is just saying, like, acknowledge that, acknowledge that you are worried, and that worry is playing on you. Here's the home card here. I think when we do worry, okay, we do worry, it tempts us to, not believe, right? I do this too. We talked about this. It tempts us to not believe that things can get better. It tempts us not to give ourselves emotional space from what's going on. Now remember, if we like somebody and if we're putting emotional time and energy into something, you know, we have emotions invested. And when our emotions are invested, it makes it harder for us to give ourselves space from that situation. By giving ourselves emotional space and by saying, you know, I understand that it's my worry. I understand that it's my, you know, inner strength that is protecting me. It's actually blocking this situation. And you give yourself more faith in your ability and in the environment. So this just goes back to the message that we're following, okay? When you give yourself more strength, or when you give yourself more self-trust, you can trust yourself more. And in that way, by letting go of this worry, by acknowledging it, that it's, you know, a lot of it's coming from you, you become your own home. Does that make sense? Okay, think about it like this. If you didn't trust your partner, but you came home every day, would you feel comfortable in your house? No. If you don't trust yourself, I mean, you're with yourself all the time. You're going to be miserable. Doing things that validate yourself, following your own happiness, that validates you, which allows you to trust yourself more, which means that you, Libra, then are your own home. And if you are your own home, it doesn't matter who comes in and out of your life, because you're always going to have a place that's yours. I really hope that makes sense. Oof, creativity, okay? So let's say, Libra, you know, if you're at least 20 years old and you're watching this, you have been doing things the same way for 20 years. It's not going to come naturally to you to do something different. We have to use creativity. We have to find ways of alerting ourselves to things. I personally sought professional help. I have no shame in that. I used therapists for a long time just to help me, just to get out the things that just were just, you know, plaguing me. They were just making me anxious, terrified, you know, like just full of anxiety. And I use therapists to get that out. And then I use psychologists to help me reframe my mindset. Because of my anxiety, because I went to a psychologist, I now know how to identify my anxiety. So this morning I woke up and I have a lot of like waking up anxiety, which is really weird because like I don't have anything to do all the time. It doesn't make any sense. Like, yeah, at 4 o'clock. I don't have a job. Okay. Anyway, but I can identify it now. So that when I wake up and I'm just like, I feel just like trapped, I know that that's my anxiety. And by knowing it's my anxiety, I can tell myself, okay, these symptoms will pass. Like, let's just focus on, you know, why we feel anxious, where we feel it, and then let ourselves like alleviate those feelings. If my throat is really tight, I focus on like, you know, unclenching my jaw. I focus on like, you know, getting my teeth separate, my lips open, like relaxing my face. When I'm clenching my stomach and my gut kind of hurts, I try to focus on like, you know, allowing myself to breathe. And in that way I can help myself. I learned to rely on myself, but it took a lot of creativity. Maybe for you it's like making lists or physical touch, right? Dang, we're out of time again. Anyway, Libra, universe wants you to take this opportunity to move forward. Move forward towards the truth. And the truth is that just because we have feelings and because our feelings are valid does not mean that they are what's actually happening, okay? So we have to move towards the objective truth. I don't want to invalidate your feelings. Your feelings are true, but they're there are so many opportunities, there's so many ways in which they can be not indicative of what's actually happening, right? We see that with little kids all the time. Kids get upset because something, you know, they just misunderstand a situation, and then you're like, well, we said this, we were telling you this, and then they're like, oh, okay, I remember now, or, you know, whatever. That's Prince of Swords. Universe is saying that moving towards this truth is also going to help you unlock your abundance, moving closer to who you are. And this is the last card, but it's going to be grounding for you as well. I know that doesn't make any sense. Like, how can you be grounded if you're moving? But like, this isn't real like moving. This is just you moving closer to who you are and your truth, which means that you are actually more grounded. Libra, just really quickly, just like a quick recap, because we have such a long, we're already here for such a long time. Right now you're in this place where you have all this energy, this really good energy, but like right now you're using it to be defensive, to defend yourself against something. Universe wants you to reshape that energy to be, you know, more balanced with yourself, more in alignment with who you are. Your own card came out, the Justice card, and right now, the universe is saying there is happiness and love in your environment. You just need to reshape that energy so that you can have enough self-trust that you will be able to handle it even if it doesn't work out. Not that the universe is indicating in any way to me that it won't. In fact, the universe is indicating me that most of this is in your head. So not to worry, right? But the universe wants you to get moving. It's you know, you might not think it's time, but the universe has 2, 3 green lights here for you. Libra, this is what I have. If you need me for anything, email address and Instagram is in the box below, and I really hope you have a good day. Bye.